Your life, as it has been, is over.
Hello. So, want to look at the UGG Mods Manager cap, because as I've done before, I've shown you before in a show of mine, where we're limited to where we only see like 90 mods on a row. If you don't have this mod. If you don't have this mod and you're just using the game and everything the way it normally is, you will only see about 90 mods on a row, which is really dumb. Our limit is 150, so you'd think it would at least show 150, but it doesn't even show you that much. And if you go searching for things and looking for things down here in these rows, you can only see up to about 80 or 90 mods, and then you can't see anymore. So a lot of times it's hard for us to look at all the mods that are available. This mod opens that up. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have any limit, but from what I can tell, I'm not seeing a lot of limits. And one thing I'm going to show you to show how far this mod goes, and it's a small mod, it's under 1 kilobyte, it's not big at all, and it kind of goes to show how easily they could have made this better. But anyway, without grumping about that, let's just talk about how good this mod is, okay, for what it does. Alright, so for instance, usually on my favorites, I can't see but about 90 mods, right? But I favorited a bunch more stuff, and usually I wouldn't be able to see all my favorites. Now, on the far right, my last favorite is always alternate start, okay? We should be able to get all the way over there, even though I've added some new favorites, and I did it really just to push this out. I added a bunch of new favorites just to push this over and make us have to scroll further and further and further and further. But look at this, it keeps going. It keeps going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. It keeps going. We're still going. We're well past 90, and there. That's always, for me, out of my mods, that's always my last favorite mod. Okay? So, now that's one example of how many mods that it lets you scroll over. Okay? My library is another example. Your library is supposed to only be about 150, but I probably have 150 or more that are technically in my library because I use the website to add them. So now I can just scroll, and scroll, and see like all the mods that I've added into my library. Even if I go past that limitation of like 90 and keep going out. Now it may only show me the 150 limit on my library, but I don't think so. I think it's going to let me go, and I'll show you why I think that. For one, it's letting us go. We're still continuing. We're continuing on. We're continuing on. Let's just see how far it will let us go. You know, we're well past the usual limit of mods that I can see on this row. And I know I'm scrolling quickly, but that's because I don't want us to be here for 2 hours. Because when I use the website and add things to my library, it doesn't truly download them, but it just adds them to this list. And usually I can't see but just the first 80 or 90 on this list. But today, using this mod, and actually I've been using this mod for a week, a few days, I don't remember. I'm using it on the toaster's machine. I think I put it on her machine first. So nonetheless, getting a little distracted with that. But look at this. I'm just still going. I'm still under my library. I'm still going. How far will this mod let us go? Now, we might break the game. We might crash. I don't care. I want to be able to see as much as I can see. Yeah, it's my issue. If the game crashes, that's my fault. Okay, I'm willing to accept that. But look here, we just keep going. There's still all these things. I added all these in because I add things in, and I can never get to all of the mods to do all the shows I want to do. And you can see some of these are actually in my load order, like the Courier Raccoon Placer and silly stuff. But let's just see how far we can go. See, some of these I meant to do shows on, and I meant to look at and check out. Matter of fact, hold on, I want to favorite this because I meant to come back and check that again. See that chat that affects my favorites, but look, I can still go out all the way to the end. So anyway, let's keep going. I don't want to get too distracted. It'll take me forever to get through this. This is a big list. Like I say, this is a really huge list. A lot of things I meant to look at or I wanted to look at, and I never had the time to do everything. And just a lot of different things here. And including the Better Trees mod, which we're actually using right now. Hey, why isn't that favorited? Favorite that. Yes, favorite that. See, look, we can still keep adding to our favorites. So anyway, oh, who did this? Is this Master B's? This is Master B's Pandorables all-in-one. It's pretty big. Now I'm getting distracted again. I'm sorry. Let's keep going. How far will it let us go? I'm hoping it will let me go all the way to the end. So you're kind of, oh, nope, that's it. That's our limit. But this limit has to be like 300. It's a big limit. I'm not going to count them, okay? You can do that if you want to, but it's a lot. You'll notice we went a long ways. Now I'll show you something else that this will do that's very cool. Not worrying about all these rows. It helps all these rows, though. It lets you scroll on all these rows a lot farther. Rows, not rolls. But it helps you scroll on all those a lot more. But let me come down to work in progress. Now, work in progress is always an issue for us. It's hard to find things, especially older things. If you will use this mod, you can find a lot of those things. Look, we're just going to start scrolling. And we're going to look for some things that I've had to point out to people before, and we had to go to the website to find it. But now, some of those things, if you use this mod, you can find them. Now, it still takes a minute. You have to be willing to scroll and look for it. And I mean, it's not going to be something you're going to find in 2 seconds. But you can race over down this way until you find it. Because I think this will allow you to see almost every work in progress mod. Not every, maybe not every, but almost. And you notice we're already well past the usual limit. Will not let you get out this far. Here we go. Like here's some old Morgan Helsing bodies. Oh no, wait, no. This is an old. I'm sorry, my correction. This is an old armor replacer that I still use sometimes. Now let's see if we can find. We're close. We're close to those old bodies. Here we go. These are some old Morgan Helsing bodies. These are UNP base. So like this is 7 base Opie, and this is 7 base, and this is like kind of a succubus, almost Nephilim look. There's not any armor for it unless you use like the bikini armor or something like that. But it's still a decent body and still cool. So there's these. Now you can get to them if you're using this mod. Now make sure you have to use this mod. If you don't use that mod, you can't scroll out this far. Now I'm going to keep scrolling because you can continue to scroll. You can scroll farther. You can scroll out and look at these. Now this is a beta that I don't know that Morgan Helsing ever finished. But I still intend to do a show on that if I can ever get to it. Nonetheless, let's keep going. You can just keep going, and we're getting close to the end now. But it's still way out here. Do you remember some of these mods? I mean, maybe you remember seeing some of these mods in the past, and you can't get to them now. That's an issue, you know. But now we can get to them. Now, I don't know if this really lets us get to all of them, or if it just lets us get to like about 300. But I will take it. I think that's basically all of them. This is the end. That's as far as I can go. But if it's not all of them, it's still a big, huge improvement over what we had in the past. So this modder here, let me go back up here and show you this mod. This modder here, if you use this mod and appreciate it like I do, we owe this person a big thanks. I mean, this has been such a pain for so long trying to, now I gotta scroll back. Hold on, I gotta scroll back so I can show you the mod. But it has been such a pain for so long trying to be able to manage our mods and look at things with such a limitation of like 80 or 90 when we can have at least 150 in our in our load order, not even counting how many you can favorite. You should be able to favorite more than 150 anyway so that you can find them and switch around easily. So this mod right here by Odd Little Turtle, this mod less than 1 kilobyte, okay, makes your menu so much better. And that's how easy it is. Less than 1 kilobyte of changes would have made the menu so much better. And a modder had to do it. Okay, that's it. I'm done grumping. Instead, I'm going to say thank you to Odd Little Turtle for doing this and making this so much easier. There is a similar mod, a similar older mod in Fallout 4. For some reason, it was done in Fallout 4 long ago. And I will cover that another day. But for us here in Skyrim, we all, if you use this and, you know, are able to get to all your mods better, then, and I don't know if there was another mod like this. I'm not aware of one. This is the only one I know about. So anyway, let's see, more words worded and then unworded words worded because I hit the limit for website. Hurrah. Anyway, that's fine. But nonetheless, this is a great thing. It may not be perfect, but it certainly seems fantastic to me. Compared to what we had, it is way, way, way better. Now, notice, the mod load order limit is still 150. This just allows us to see all 150. It actually allows us to see more than 150. But we can at least see everything we have in our library. But I know that it allows us to see more. We could have counted, but I didn't want to count that much. So, Fallout 4's mod manager is a little better than Skyrim's, but not a lot. And someone had to do a mod like this for it too, because it had the same limitation. So there appears to be a hard-coded cap for Skyrim, so 700 isn't the amount that is loading. Right. There is some hard cap on Skyrim, I'm sure, of like 300, where there just isn't any more to load. Probably the table they created or whatever just absolutely will not handle anymore. You have to realize this is a really old game, so I understand that. But this part of the game was really only crafted, 5-6 years ago? I mean, they should have known, and plus your limit's 150. They should have made that match somehow, so I think they could have done better. I mean, we were doing routines to handle things like this back in the 80s on mainframes that had less power. Okay, so there's logical ways to do this, and I know that. That's why I kind of pick on this and I get a little. But this person cracked the code. You know, I don't have any way to mod. I don't have any of that stuff. But here, this person went and said, "Hey, I'm just going to increase the limit and just do the best we can and see what we get," and it works. It's great. It helps a lot. Our machines can handle it. You saw me scroll all the way out to the end of all these, and I didn't have any trouble. We never crashed. So, there you go. Now, one thing, if you want to see where I have this mod, I put it down low in my patches. Now, I don't know if this will matter. You could put it higher up in your game, but I was like, you know, just to be on the safe side, I don't want anything else messing with it. I put it down low down here. It's a tiny mod. Notice that it's even smaller here. It's fewer bytes here, 589 bytes, than what it says here. Here it says 716. So just be aware of that. That's not a big deal, but it's even smaller than advertised. And it's a wonderful mod. This one I would highly recommend, especially if you're like me and you really have hundreds of favorite mods, even though, there's still going to be a limitation, but it's a much bigger and better limitation if you have hundreds of favorite mods that you kind of like to swap around on from time to time. So, alright, that's it. I'm going to quit talking about it, but I'm going to say that it's wonderful. I do recommend it. Thank you, Odd Little Turtle, and hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.
Somebody! Help! Come quickly! We've got a burglar!